So it's official. Everybody from the Cause and Effect podcast is starting their profile with Rendezvous.
Yes, sir.
There's a disclaimer that we're not there
very
for
soon.
our own reasons. We
Yeah.
are there to support.
I'm gonna find his profile. Screenshot them all.
Cause and effect.
They crop the updated pictures and shit like that.
Bravo. Have him all.
Nah, put him on blast. You go put him on blast.
Nah, man. That's all Fernando. He catfished my account. What's going on, guys? You're tuning into the Cause and Effect podcast. I'm your host, Chico, accompanied by my friends, my co-hosts, Ralphie and Fernando. And today we have a guest. He goes by the name of Jason Paul, straight out of New York. And he's going to come, he's sitting down with us to talk about his dating app called Rendezvous. Jason, you can take it away just by giving a little bit of, the app, and then we get into your story, man, because it's, I love the transition that you made from what you were doing prior to, now being in the app space.
Like you said, my name is Jason. Founder of Rendezvous, the dating app. It launched in August, and my end goal is really to just get people to meet at a higher success rate, meet at a faster rate.
I like that. I like the fact that you spoke to us behind the scenes a little bit of what makes the app different, unique. We're going to get into all of that, and I'm sure that the audiences and the listeners are going to, love to know why you're unique in that space.
And why are you even in that space in the first place?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you hear people coming up with apps. You don't really
That's
hear people
important.
coming up with
Get
that
into the
time.
dating app. A lot of people want to start the new Facebook, the new Instagram, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What were you doing? What was your role? What was your life like before getting into, owning your own app?
My life was just a regular person. I would go to work, come back home, spend it with my family, and just regular family stuff, Just regular typical guy, 32-year-old man that, have a son, just go home to the family and just try my best to be a good dad.
So fulfilling. Was that really fulfilling for you though at the time? Or besides the parenting part?
No.
Because I know the parenting and being in a relationship is fulfilling, but work-wise, were you like happy with the work life at that point?
Nah, I mean, because, and like I said, I was in a cleaning business, but there's a ceiling to that. It ends for me, but I felt like I wanted to create something that I wanted to do, And I'm not going to sit here and say I was tired of working for somebody, because I hear a lot of people, they tired of working for somebody, but I used my job just to get to where I want to go. I just utilized my situation to get where I wanted to go.
Can we emphasize that a little bit? Because a lot of people tend to dismiss a job or just neglect the job or hate going there or whatever the case is.
Nah.
But I feel like that's because of that. We were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and we talked about the fact that the reason why you were still more driven, I guess, while you was working there is because you had an end goal. You felt trapped for a minute, right? Which you mentioned. You felt like I might got out eventually, but you was... But that takes thought. You got to stop and think. A lot of people don't stop and think where they see themselves in the next 5, 10, 15 years. You thought about 25 years later. You was like, where am I going to be at 25 years? Am I still going to be doing this 25 years from now? Is this something I see myself doing? And you was like, no. So you started thinking, which led you into where you're in today. So that's powerful, man.
That's a fact.
What made you look outside the box, though? Because a lot of people, like I said, they get stuck. They don't really think 5, 10, whatever years ahead. They just like take it day by day, go to work, and take it as life. 25 years go by and they don't even know what happens. But you were able to wake up before all that time passed.
Yeah, but like I said before, I was, the family thing was just important to me. So I was just doing that. But I came out of a relationship, and I had a lot of time. I had time to myself. I got a chance to just tap into me. I remember a certain day. I came home and I sat on the couch. I didn't have the TV on or anything like that. I just played the music, light in the house and just sat there. And I didn't have my phone, and I just dug deep. And it came a dating app, and then an app came to my thought. And then right after that, it was a dating app. It was just it came right after. And then I just started digging deep, and I did my homework on it. And one thing led to another. Started thinking I had to code and stuff, but I ended up outsourcing the work, and it just took off from there. But there was a moment in time that I almost thought I just didn't want to do it. I said maybe I shouldn't do it, Then I would listen to motivational stuff, and then it'd get me back on track. a little bit, and it just, you know, and just even for me, just looking at myself, my situation, and just seeing my son, and it's like I want, you know, our job as parents is to get your kid to live a better life.
Exactly.
Do, right?
And by better doesn't necessarily mean they have to be the most glamorous
Yeah,
life, but better to learn from your lessons.
Yeah,
Like, okay, I made these
exactly.
mistakes. I wouldn't want my kid to go through this.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's dissect that a little bit. To talk about, you know, breaking up with somebody and all that. Let's go back to that part. Like that breakup, is that one of the main reasons as to like what led you into creating this app, or it was just you broken at the time when that happened, or?
No. That's what led to it, because you know, like I said, if it wasn't for that, I probably just, you know, just still be focusing on that family aspect. I had a chance to get time to myself and see what I wanted to do, and this came out of it. So I'm not upset about what came out of it. I'm happy, you know.
At the moment, though, were you still, or like at the moment when it recently happened? I know that must have been a little bit.
Yeah, of course it's pain.
Yeah,
man.
it's
painful.
painful.
You know, that's
Yeah.
if I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, you know, because sometimes when people go through things like that, like painful situations, is when the biggest epiphany of their lives come in. You know what I mean? Like they go in, like you said, you pretty much turn your phone off. Nobody could get in contact with you, and you get in touch with yourself. A lot of people don't even.
Times,
you
right?
need that though.
Yeah,
you need to go in there,
that.
because when you go in the dark is when you get to bring forth to light the things that you know were hiding in there, and you start thinking about yourself a little bit more. That's what I'm saying. Like there was a blessing behind it all. At the end of the day, of course, at the moment you don't think about it like that, but when you go after you go through it, it's like you look at it like, oh wow, so that's why that happened.
This is why,
Here I am now, thanks to that. So yeah, man, no,
I like when you say that people, when they go through pain, they have their biggest epiphany, because like you have somebody, for example, Adele. Her biggest song was off of a heartbreak.
The album, the album,
you know, like
the breakup.
Exactly. So when you think about it, there's some people that actually like going through pain because they know that their next level that they're gonna tap into is gonna come from that. You know, whether it's a heartbreak, whether it's pain from the gym, you know, that soreness that you feel when your muscles or you feel like you broke your muscles, and you know that something's gonna grow from that.
And it's not like you look after. Of course, nobody wants pain, but at the same time, when it comes, you know, you learn to embrace it a little
No,
bit.
you'll be surprised. There's some people that do. Like, getting a tattoo is not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I embrace it. Like, I literally challenge myself how painful.
All my tattoos hurt.
I'm
used to that.
Bro, I got one. When I got my chest tatted, I felt my neck vibrating, and I felt like something was pinching my neck for some reason in this spot right here, and it hurt it. But I was the entire time, I was just thinking like, how much of this can I tolerate? And I was just challenging myself in my mind. Like, I'm not telling him, yo, dude, you know, go off right now. Like, you know, and I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say because it sounded crazy, but you know, I wouldn't tell him to use a heavy hand on my tat, but I was just like quiet, and I wouldn't complain on pain, because I was just like, you know, I'm letting it, I'm feeling it right now, and I'm just letting it marinate, you know?
And you know that it's going to go away.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
You know, that was a side note. We just feel like that was important for us to know.
It was time that created this. It was me more and more. I was curious too. You know, can I do this? You know, you want to push yourself. I kind of pushed myself to go to another level. So I wanted to see if I could do this. Because like I said, everybody has an idea, right? How many people bringing it to life?
Yeah, and you did it in a year.
Yeah, and I patted myself on my back.
That. Yeah, you should.
It's like, I didn't have this money when I even signed the paper. I'm like, how am I gonna get this? You know, but you know, you work hard, you get it. You know, so I just followed my path, and that's what it was.
Did you feel like there was something lacking in the other apps that you could have made better? Something that you needed to find in those apps that maybe you didn't find there that you wanted to? Like, what led you to do that, and what you felt like it was lacking on some of the other apps? I mean, you don't have to say the names.
I had used some of the apps early on, and even the process, my creative process, going, you know, sitting at bars and talking to people and seeing, because everybody pretty much used the dating app at this point. I mean, I think maybe one person said they have never used one, but at some point somebody used it, and I always just asked them. I didn't target more men, because the guys are gonna do what females are gonna do, really. So I targeted women, and what is their thing is more of safety, and it's more of, we never meet, right? because if you're on a dating app, right, you should be willing to meet.
Everything
if
is
you're at that
digital
point.
today. Everybody wants that digital connection. Nobody's going out. Like back in the day, you had to go and meet somebody in the mall. You know, like you had to work for it. You go walk around your neighborhood,
Instant
see if you see
gratification
somebody.
now.
You
It's
know, like
you want to order something,
Yeah.
it's Amazon.
but
you want food now, you use Grubhub. You got all of this. Everything is right to our disposal in front of us now. We don't even got it. We don't got to go out to date anymore.
Bro, you can
just
go on
swipe,
Instagram
right?
and just scroll for hours, and you'll see 100,000 people in one day. You know, back in the day, you stayed to your neighborhood, to wherever your feet can take you if you weren't driving, right? And there was people that could drive, and they'll go to New York, and they'll come back, and they just wanted to see something different, see different women, you know, or have multiple women in different areas, and that was.
It was so easy to cheat back in the day. Now you think about it.
Yeah, I used to think about how do people get caught back in the day. Like, how did you get caught back in the day? Because now it's like
everything is there.
Everything
Because
is
fulano knows
possible.
fulano, like they know each other. And it was
But
just
that's
no
because,
area.
you know why it was easy to cheat. It was easy
Because
to
if
cheat.
we were from out of town, you were not messing around. You were messing around with what you knew.
Yeah, you was in the same circle, and
Listen.
everybody in Patterson knows each other. If you're from Patterson, right? And
That's
I'm
what
sure
that branch
that
out.
in New York
Yeah,
it's different.
it's a little
because
different.
It's a little
It's a little
You gotta
different.
branch
Way
out.
is bigger,
Imagine living
but-
in New Jersey and having a completely different life in New York. People used to do that back in the day, man. Like,
Nah, people could go 10 miles down the block and have a whole new
completely
family.
different families.
Like,
Now
don't
you got the
go,
phones,
don't go
like-
to that bodega. Don't order from here. That way the families won't bump into each other. Like,
Dave Chappelle said it best. He was just like back in the day, you just have you get in an argument with your wife. You be like, yeah, I'm going to the grocery store, and the husband never comes back.
come
And he
up
started a new life 10 miles away. He didn't have to go
That's a
nowhere.
phone
You never seen him ever again, and he's
That's
been
the problem.
10
He's
blocks.
only 10 miles away. But now we got the phone.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
And now
But the-
everybody's searching and looking, and there's like secret. Everybody's like an FBI agent. They can like get into different ways to finding out where you've been, what you're
Yeah,
doing,
of
who
course.
you're talking to.
But to piggyback more on his question was,
Yeah.
like I targeted a lot of women. They said they never get a chance to meet. So I wanted to do that. I had to figure out how do I expedite this, right?
Yeah.
How do I get people to letting them know that if you're gonna go on Rendezvous, you better be prepared to meet. You know, this is not a dating app that you're gonna text and say, I got to get to know you a little bit better next week maybe. I wanted to keep the organicness where if you're going on a date for the first time, I want to be nervous. You know, I don't want to know
Yeah.
everything about this person before I even sit across from this person.
Because you know
right?
what to say. You sweet
Yeah,
talk the shit out of the
everything.
entire.
You already know where she works,
date.
where she lives, she has kids. Like, why not keep it because everybody wants to be organic now, right? So why not keep it where you're gonna get that vibe where you're just going to go meet that person. I mean, obviously you go through some basic stuff, questions, but I don't want people to spend time going back and forth. I want them to sit across from each other, catch their vibe, and I want them to not go into it with any expectations. You know, just
I like when you say that you don't want them to know too much, because what I'm getting from it is you need enough information to decide if you want to meet with this person or not.
no,
You don't have to know
I
the
don't
entire
even think
story.
it's that deep. I just think because basically, what are we? When you swipe, if whoever used on the dating app, right? If you swipe, what are you basing it on?
looks.
The looks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What else can that profile tell you besides going up to?
what kind of they're into?
Huh?
What they're into?
But anybody can say anything.
Anybody, and that's my point.
You know what I mean?
Also, you don't
I can
have-
say I
you
like
don't have a bio,
long
you know?
No, there is a
walks
bio,
on the
there is
beach,
a
but
bio.
I
That's
never walk
necessary, but
on the
you can
beach.
see pictures.
But you can say
If they
that,
take
but like
pictures
you,
like that.
you know what I'm trying to say. Like you can
Yeah.
say that, but I'd rather people just go and meet and not know their whole story before they go and meet.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because even I tell my friends sometimes, like a text could be misinterpreted. It could be misread. If I don't know your personality for a female, just say, and I'm one of those joking around kind of guys, and she doesn't know my humor. You know, she may take it a different direction, but that's just who I am. But if you met me and then you text me the next day, you can say, "Oh, I was with him yesterday. This is who he is. This is his personality." You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted people. I want to thrust people into quicker situations, and also, like I said, the whole thing about dating is not. It's not just saying you're gonna swipe and go on a date and say this is the person, this is the guy or the girl. It doesn't work that way. You know, dating, you get a pool of people and you figure it out from there.
You know what's interesting though about it? the fact that even though it's so popular now, it's still kind of taboo to talk about it. Like a lot of people have it, but they don't want to talk about it. They don't want their friends to know. They want to keep it to themselves.
It's a lot more out in the open now, though, because at one point it was like that was a personal thing. Like
at one point, it was
nobody was saying y'all got a Tinder.
It was an embarrassing thing.
You see a lot of people on the bus and the train now.
Just swiping. Now it's so popular now.
It's become more common. It's more accepted.
And you know, when you're on social media, right, you could be looking for a relationship as Facebook and Instagram, but they're not. You're really just throwing your shot at it's like you're throwing shit on the wall. But when you're on these apps, whoever's on that app, they know that they want something.
They're both on the same page.
Whether you want a relationship
like you said,
or you want a one-night stand.
The guys are shooting their shots pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm even going a step further where I'm saying, because people were saying they're not meeting. So why are you on this dating app if you're not meeting? If you're on a dating app, you should be willing to meet.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing in order. Okay,
that's the whole purpose of it.
That's the whole purpose of it. It's like, but like I said, I spoke to women. It's like they just talking. They're talking. They're playing games. They're playing.
Yeah. Can I say what for a male's point of view?
Absolutely.
Because when I think about what women complain about, it automatically made me think about what I would complain about, right? Or men. And I think that one of the things that not only men fear, I'm sure women do too, is the catfishing. How can you lower the amount of people that are able to do that? Is there even a way to do that? Because like I was on that app years ago, and
emphasize that.
Just so you know.
2019.
But my problem was I knew what app. All right, this is completely fake. This has to be like a Google image that they got on this app from. So I'm sure that sometimes they'll be like, could it be? Could it not? Because they'll make it a little bit. They're not just throwing a picture. And
there's a lot of generic pictures out there too. Bots and
Yeah, the bots are out there, man.
What I did, I had the user in mind a lot when creating this. So I have a feature on it. It's an optional feature of rating your date. To give the next user a peace of mind. If you're gonna go on a date, you would like to see this person's reliable, 100% of the time, right? So we know this guy's real too, or this female's real because their rating is legit. Rather than seeing somebody that shows up 50% of the time, it's like,
Is it a rate with a review, like comments, or just stars?
No, it's just for now. It's you send a message, or it's just have you met? The person didn't show, or we had a great time.
Got you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
So statistically,
you let them to write whatever they want to. They
they'll
get mad, and
be
sour.
Yo, my
the
man
internet is an
smell
evil
funky.
world.
It is.
Like,
no, that's
what?
great safety. That's great safety.
So,
that's great safety.
Yeah, to rate the date, I felt was necessary.
Yeah,
I really felt it was necessary.
Being done like that is awesome.
It just,
I've never seen
I just
that.
really wanted the users to be. I wanted to be user friendly, and I had them, like I said, I had the user in mind a lot when creating this, and how could it be user friendly? And I just felt like little things like that, just rating your date, or
safety.
I spoke to you guys about the safety feature. We have you set your rendezvous date via maps, so if you suggest a location, we know you were at that location, right? So because safety is a thing, especially for women.
Absolutely.
That's always.
I think that's probably one of the reasons they never.
They don't use it, and some of them don't use it because of that. It's like, I don't know this guy, but it's like, what's the difference between sitting in a bar with somebody you just didn't meet and you just meeting somebody through the app and saying we're gonna meet at this bar?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's like you're going over there with a purpose. Like I'm gonna meet somebody that I already want to see. They're gonna meet me there. It's known,
and I'm even going a step further too. I'm gonna go a step
real.
further where it'll be an optional feature to check in at that location. Even go a little step further.
I like that.
Safety is definitely in mind.
That is so different. I never heard of that before.
Safety is in mind. Yeah. Even like I said, the swipe. It's not left to right. It's up to down, just to separate myself a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just and just doing the research.
It's better for the thumb too.
Yeah, it's better for the thumb. Exactly. It's a saturated field. Doing the research on it. Like this.
I play video games. I had on my phone.
No. You call house. He was like, "Yo,
then I set myself
good for the thumb." And then he said, then he followed it up with, "Trust me." And he looked at me like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, so you be swiping left
That
and right,
moment
man?
I knew I done fucked up.
Damn, dog. Yo, Fernando, man. Oh, man.
hate swiping left
I
and
learned
right.
something new from
I
you, man.
played this. I'm not even gonna say the name of the game. I play a game on my phone, and I know you have to go like this, and it hurts my
You
thumb.
playing
So I
in
know.
Tinder.
He's playing
So
Nintendo.
about that app.
So you came up with different things, with the things that were important, that meant something to you, and just little details that completely set you apart from all the other dating apps that are out there right now, which is
Do you have a
dope.
button like Uber, like that button where they don't feel safe and they just
Yo, it's crazy because I seen another dating app and I was on one of the platforms reading on, I think it was Pole Alert or Shade Room or something like that. And one of these companies are putting that like as an emergency button, and it's like,
yeah.
because I had originally in mind, it's in it, you could drop your pin through the app, through the like you could drop your pin like your location.
Yeah.
But that's already a feature on the Apple phone, right? But I had put it in an app where you can send a pin just for safety feature
To any contact.
Yeah,
that's
any
like,
contact in your phone.
Yeah.
Just to be like, this is a safety feature. But I seen that from one of the other dating apps, they're doing that. Like an emergency button.
button.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's gonna start becoming pretty standard for dating
For
apps.
everything,
Yeah, so
everything. Because even
Security,
social
yeah.
media and all that
Yeah.
is doing stuff like that.
Social media.
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, what I mean is that there's definitely going to be ways for people to feel safe, like on. No, I'm not social media. Uber apps, like Uber doing that.
Yeah.
Just because there's been stories of people that felt like they were going to get kidnapped, or the Uber driver wasn't really following directions and they were acting creepy, and they felt a little bit
Unsafe.
unsafe or whatever, and or had bad experiences. I'm sure that people have had bad experiences, and they probably are gonna have those features as well on those type of apps because
If
everybody's
you were-
worried about their safety.
If you were an Uber driver, I would definitely have my thumb on that button.
So you're trying to come back from that whole thumb thing. I get it, Fernando. I get it, man. You be playing on Tinder, man. I get it.
So the competition, how you dealing with that in the sense of the way they
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
how dating you're saying is booming, it's becoming more
It's
popular.
saturated.
There's
a lot
more
of it's
dating
so many
apps out
dating
there.
apps, like I said, but
I mean, I didn't know of the top probably 4 or 5
because those are the top real
Yeah.
ones. There's just some fake dating apps that's not even working, but there's so many dating apps for it's targeting certain people. You got farmers only, or
Christians only.
Christians only,
Christian
black
mingle.
people meet,
Christian
black
mingle.
people meet. So it's like they're targeting
Yeah.
a certain
demographic.
demographic, exactly. And this rendezvous is for everybody, though. It's for everybody.
Yeah, so
I'm not even.
I'm-
But like you said, it's very saturated, and just doing the research. It's all about how you market your product.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. How you?
No, I've
promote it.
read books. I'm reading books. Last book I read was Ben Horowitz, The Hard Things About Hard Things, because I felt like I was going through that situation.
Yeah.
With marketing at that moment, running out of the funds to market, and that book, like I was telling him earlier, I listen to a lot of motivational stuff too to get me over that edge. But I did it.
That's important. That's important to like. I was saluting you for that because it's like, a lot of people don't take the time to isolate themselves from all the other noise and actually feed themselves so that it's gonna uplift them. It might not work today, it might not work tomorrow, but if you keep listening to it constantly, it's little by little gonna sink in. And you're gonna start believing it.
Today than yesterday.
You'll know how to apply it in your life.
Yeah, so you just gotta. For me, life. I just look at life from a different angle now, and I just want to do what I want to do. And
So competition is not much of a.
yeah, I'm not. I mean,
you're not
the
thinking about.
it's there.
It's always gonna be there no matter what you
can't
do.
run away from that, but
In
I don't
any
wanna-
field, yeah.
I'm focused on getting Rendezvous out and what I want to do with it, and then I'll worry about the competition.
Good.
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like
Good.
that's.
Because you're
I don't
doing something
wanna-
that's the
different.
best.
Everything,
Yeah.
all the features you mentioned are
It's
incredibly
different, and I feel like once people gravitate to it, I feel like it's gonna be unstoppable. I really feel that. I feel so good about it.
Gotta feel
That's
that way,
good.
man.
That's the most important.
Did you explain a little bit about the name? I love the name, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
Rendezvous,
all the
yeah,
all
people
the
say
other
that.
names that we've mentioned, we just know they're dating apps because of people mentioning them.
Yeah.
But when I heard Rendezvous, I'm like, obviously, I know it has to be some sort of dating app, right? And honestly, for my mind, how my mind works, I've heard that name, that word being mentioned before, and I automatically said, "Yo, that's like a one night stand type of situation."
Yeah,
like,
it sounds like a rendezvous.
Like
so
some
the whole name even came about was I was toying with different names, and I wanted to implement safety in it, and I had another name, but it had the word safe in it, but you don't want to promise something that's really out of your control. I can't say it's going to be 100% safe because I'm not on these dates. And I started looking at synonyms for the word date, and I just came up, I seen the name Rendezvous, and it went with my concept to, set up an arranged date and time to meet, so it just went perfectly.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's perfect.
With the concept.
Yeah. I know for a fact you were like, yo, this is a confirmation that I need to drop
this.
I need to do this.
There were certain things where it's like, even just doing research, one door opened, and I'm just walking through these doors, the internet, and this is like learning how to do SEOs, search engine optimization on your website.
That's
to get organic traffic going to your website. It's just like I learned it. Like I say, we're one Google search away from all the answers that we need, right? how to do this, it's gonna pop up. You're gonna have a whole bunch of different articles on how to.
If you need a visual, YouTube.
And then if you need the visual, you go to YouTube. So it was more of like I said, it was moments where I didn't want to. I kind of thought maybe I shouldn't, but I said I got to go for it because I remember specifically too. I was on the phone with the developers and I almost said, you know what? Let me call y'all back. Because if I did that, I probably wouldn't have never followed through. So I said, nah, I have to say yes, and I need this. I need them to send me the paperwork so I can sign it. Because if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna be. Motivation's never there when you need it, right? It's never there. So I was motivated that day. Y'all been to bed before. Y'all was like, yo, I'm going to the gym, right? Yeah. How many times you say I'm going to the gym the night before? Y'all get up in the morning. That motivation's not there, right? The motivation is never there. Motivation's never there when you need it,
Nah. And, that's why you gotta make a decision, which you did.
Yeah, I got that one from Mel Robbins, by the way. She's like an inspirational speaker. Yeah. But that really set with me because it's like, yo, I've been to the gym 1,000 times. Yeah. I started going to the gym 1,000 times, and I never found that motivation to do it. So I really. And she explains a 5-second rule, like your brain has 5 seconds to react. So if you don't think about it, you just got to go. I didn't think about that moment to say the what if.
Do I want to? Do I not?
Yeah, do I want to?
I already said yes, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because I think even at that point I didn't even do the market research. I didn't, because that's important when you're doing a company. You got to do your research. You got to do your homework. So before I even did that, I wanted to do my homework, and I think I had. I was talking to developers before I even actually did my homework. But I don't get me wrong, I was skimming through some stuff where I felt comfortable enough to say, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. But I wasn't, I didn't know nothing about. I don't know, how to run a company or, the back, because there's a lot of back end of this stuff, the legal part of it, legalizing your business, it's just not.
Copyrights, right? So they won't steal your stuff.
You can't copyright the idea, Yeah. Yeah. So.
But how can you save it? Can you?
Only with dating apps, there's so many of them. You just gotta, however you decide to, whatever entity, if it's an LLC or an LP, whatever, however you want it, but it couldn't be copyrighted. Bottom line, because it's already out. It's not something that's new. It's not innovative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But even when I got discouraged at those times, I seen a meme. The meme had all of these bread companies. There's bread. And it was like, and it said, don't let nobody stop your idea. Like, all these people had the same idea, and they're all getting money, Mm-hmm. So that kind of I was discouraged about doing this, and it's just like, I had those moments a lot. I had it a lot, but I just kept going. And
that takes a certain. To you're making it sound so nonchalant. Like, yeah, just
Nah, no, it was hard because I used to go to work too. I used to go to work kind of frustrated, like. Not wanting to be at work anymore because I had something else going on for me. Something. But that was paying. The job was paying the bills still. But I started losing focus of my 40-hour job because I was so obsessed with trying to do this and what angle, how can I get this off the ground? Like I said, I was learning even how to do the SEOs and stuff. Things that a lot of these companies are probably paying somebody.
Yeah.
But as a founder and an owner of a company, I want to, before it gets to that point, I want to be able to know how to do the SEO. I want to be able to know how to do everything. That so that way if I have to hire somebody, I know what to they
know what to expect.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
You know what they're
doing. I know what
I know what you're doing.
I want to know what I'm doing. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that owner that just that doesn't have a clue about what's going on with things.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's big. That's one of the things gonna really set you apart. Maybe that work ethic, man.
For sure.
Not a lot of people have that. A lot of people talk the talk, like you said, but they don't take the initiative. People think about people are being stuck in an idea for a whole year.
Yeah,
and then execute
and
later,
not even knowing where to start.
Yeah,
I didn't even know where to start.
That's the thing too. I think that's one of the main problems. Why a lot of people don't start things because
you don't know where. You don't even know where. But like I said, you're one Google search away. Yeah. Literally, that's how mine came about, and one article led into the next, and now I'm learning how to outsource my work. And
I think that one of the most biggest nuggets that's gonna go over some people's heads is you saying you allowed yourself time to think. You disconnected yourself from the noise. And we've had episodes where we talk about noise and things in our heads, people, outside noise. You put the phone down. Put something that can put you in a thinking mode, whether it's music, whether you're working out in the gym, whether you're in the shower. I've had one of my, moments where I'm like, oh my God, like a breakthrough idea while I'm in the shower, right? Because situation. I'm in the moment or I sit down and think, and I force myself to either just not have anything else on my mind. Everything else, I put them in a filing cabinet, put it away, and I allow one thought and one thing only that's going to just take and consume my mind for this hour, 2 hours. And you start digging into that. You start thinking about ideas. And then that idea that you birth requires you to do research, which is one of the steps that people would need to take is sit down, think about it. Write down all your ideas that come to brain, and then go out and research it and see what's the demand on it. What's the opportunities, the market value, what's the future?
Write it down somewhere where you won't lose it.
Yeah,
that has happened to me already. When I wrote,
I put it in my notes now on my phone. If
when
I
we used to work at a cell phone,
it's always gonna be with you.
Yeah.
We used to work at a cell phone store, and we was just most of the time we were just not doing much in the morning, early in the morning. And I remember I came up with an idea of an app, and I hit him up about it. And I wrote it on a paper that I had over there on my desk.
You can't find it.
Can't find the paper. Yeah. And there was an app that I came up in my mind, and a couple of years ago is out.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. I
forgot what it's called. You know what? It was important for me was like,
but that thought. Sorry to cut you off. That thought that you just said right now is like. Now I wish I would have paid more attention to it, because at first I'm like, I got disappointed. I'm like, oh, the app is out. Wow, I lost it. I can't believe I lost it. Just hesitating.
It makes you feel so like I should have did it. Even when I was developing my app, I'm like, I gotta hurry because somebody else could be creating this thing, right?
Yeah, but you just said, like, there's a lot of apps out there. Yeah. Even if you make an app that is already out, your app can be more user friendly or more thing for someone else.
Drake, that they like. Drake said it himself. He said it's not about who did it first, who did it better. And when he said that, there's many quotes that you could say that say the same exact thing. Is really, we're so focused on being first at something, and we're not focused on who's gonna be the one that lasts the longest. Who's gonna be down for who's gonna be a part of the marathon? Because everybody's out here sprinting.
Dude, that's what we do since we're kids. Like, whoever gets this first, whoever does this first, it's always been like that since we were kids.
There's a big commotion about who did it first, right? Oh, you discovered it. MySpace did it first.
Yeah.
But who's out here right now?
But now you got Instagram, Facebook.
You know what I mean? Like, who's out here right now?
But it was important for me. I had, after that thought process, like when I was home and started really thinking, it's like, let me take a step back for a second. Do I want to do? I'll see how I feel tomorrow. Do I still want to do this? Am I still going to be as energized about it? And I woke up and I was just as enthusiastic.
And you can't get your hand off of just finding more information.
With it. I'm up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and just keep going.
And how many people you probably don't know You know, because the ideas are out there that are hiding these things, and they're just thinking about these things, these inventions, these ideas, and they just sound so crazy in their brain that they're like, I'm not even doing it.
Yo, I said at this point, there's nothing too far fetched anymore. There's nothing that I feel like I can't even do anymore.
Bro, if you can make a car drive by itself while you sleeping, we in Jetsons time. We're in the Jetsons time, right? Like around this time, I remember as a kid thinking to myself, in 2020 something, we're gonna have flying cars. Yeah, we don't have flying cars, but we got self-driving cars.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I mean, so we're on the way there.
We got a couple flying cars.
What?
We got a couple flying cars. I mean,
I'm
they're
talking
not
about
legit.
active, like you know, like the street is in the air type of thing. You know what I mean? But you know, and that's just adding on to what you're saying. There's nothing far fetched. Yeah. The imagination, the thoughts and ideas that you have in your brain come for a reason. It's how many of those ideas are you gonna materialize? And actually, you know, some are not gonna make it, some are gonna fail. But it's about materializing it and seeing which one's gonna stay and create your legacy.
Execution too. I mean, like I said, everybody has the idea, but who's gonna do it? Who's gonna put the work in? Who wants to really do it? You know, everybody talks. They want to leave this job because they unhappy with it.
People do.
Yeah, but who's gonna do it? Who's really gonna? And what are you doing to get to that step?
Have you sat down and to figure this thing out? You gotta sit down and figure.
Can I ask you a personal question? I mean,
Absolutely.
You don't have to talk numbers, but for the person that's thinking about an app, can I ask that?
You got.
Would you be looking at a high maintenance, or is it when you're looking at risk versus rewards, right? Where you're looking at it like, I'm gonna spend a lot of money, and the rewards are gonna be big, but I'm gonna be spending a lot of money.
Yeah, because my thought process is this is not a corner store. This is not gonna be a local thing. When you're doing an app, it's just worldwide. You're gonna touch people in other countries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just this is not your local store where I'm just gonna, you know, this is worldwide. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people it's touching. It's a lot of people. But I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, I'm saying is the maintenance high for the person that's saying, you know, I'm not sure if it's depending on what app you're going for, but is just the process of getting into development and maintaining a app going just like a website, or is it a higher maintenance?
No, it's more than that. I mean, because besides the maintenance, marketing is another monthly expense when you're doing a company. So you're doing whatever other small, whether you're paying for your phone line, your address that you're using, your website, you got to pay the host, whatever hosting fee, whatever website you're running, your platform you're running your website through, you got to pay the fee for that. It's the reward is much bigger than what you're spending. I mean, you're spending a lot on a monthly expenses on just to maintain the app, you know. I'm including the marketing with that maintenance, you know.
Oh, so, of course, you need.
Yeah, because you got to remember, even when you're doing marketing too, I had to learn, like, okay, if you're going to market, if you don't have the right amount of money for them to market, they're only going to market, okay, you're in New York, so we're only going to market right now in New York until you get enough money to pay us to market nationwide.
Worldwide. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So then you got to think about that. Now you start thinking about other countries now, you know.
Putting faces on the app.
You know,
or
changing
organizations.
Changing the language. It's just a lot of it.
You know, getting a team to sponsor the app, or sponsoring a team.
Yeah.
You know, and the money that goes into getting that showtime. Like, imagine your brand on the 49ers jersey in the Super Bowl. Like, imagine that. But imagine how much money in that marketing. You know, like, you got to be invested, or have big investors in that are confident in what you're doing. So before you get there, you got to be the person that says, I'm gonna put the money up front.
Yeah.
And then find somebody that sees the same vision as you and is willing to put up some more capital to help you get to the next level and keep business. You know, if you look at Facebook, it was one of his boys that was financing.
Yeah, I actually just watched that movie too. And I was like, damn, I didn't even know this dude was that dirty.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's talk about that a little bit. I looked at it as somebody that saw the value in something and just took it away from people that didn't. That's how I looked at it. Cause you know why? Because I saw the McDonald's movie and I was like, I can't be mad at him.
Nah.
I can't be mad at him because he told him, he was like, yo, let's do it. And they're like, no, we want to stay here. He's like, bro, this is going to be huge. And I feel like Mark was the same dude, was like, you don't understand what is about to happen, and I'm just not going to sit around and just let it grow by itself. I'm going to keep going at it.
That was funding the money, you know.
Well, his best friend was funding it, but his best friend was just like the money behind it, like here.
Yeah, he was
and he wasn't really like, I can see where the dude was like, you don't even care about this. You know what I mean? Like, you're over there just throwing money at this, and I'm over here busting my ass for it. So like, you can see where maybe the person was just like, I got some other people that got money now. Like, what's your how are you an asset to this? You know what I mean? But obviously, some of the practice behind it could have been done better. You know. But I looked at it as business is business, and at the end of the day,
he was a young kid,
you gotta pay attention to business, man.
Right?
Oh yeah, but no, you're right about the business being business, man. It could be cutthroat, but that's where you gotta be.
No, it could. You
gotta.
So how many active profiles do you have on your account? Are you able to say that?
Yeah.
And how many?
I don't really want to talk. But there's a lot of, because you gotta remember too.
Okay, so is there more women than men? Is there more men than women?
I would say it is. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 55%, 45 women. It's a little more
55 men.
Yeah, it's a little more men than women. But you know, the hardest part is to get the women to do it, to use it. That's the hardest part.
It's
the most important, because the guys that start coming,
because they want to know I was here.
Yeah.
So now for February, what do you do? For promotion? Do you hire Cupid? Does he help you out? How does that work?
Right now, this month I'm actually hiring a marketing team, so that's gonna really take it to the next level where I would need it to get to.
Nice.
February,
so
man, month for love.
You're doing like something special for the app
this month? I'm gonna probably like in April. I'm gonna do a launch party, a nice little launch party. Y'all guys are more than welcome to come, though.
Hey, man, listen, we're going to start our profile. Fernando's going to join the Rendezvous.
Yeah, anybody watching? Any singles watching?
We can do a photo shoot. We can get the whole nine.
I mean, you guys are going to catfish me in the app? All right.
I security's pretty good on there.
That'll be his alibi.
Yeah,
I get it.
So you have a lot of things going on in your life right now. So how are you keeping things balanced out? You know, your family, your daughter.
Son.
Son, I'm so sorry.
Son.
I'm like, wait.
I was like, son.
I'm off.
I just wake up every day and I just have my routine. I get up, take my son to school, pick him up from school, homework. I like being a dad.
So you spend a lot of time with him still?
Yeah.
So how you manage to?
So the app doesn't take much time from you? Like,
it does, and that's why I said if I found myself up so early because, you're doing it. Taking care of your kid.
Up early in the morning.
Up in the morning, taking care of your kid, getting them ready for bed, and by that time 8 o'clock, and now I'm on the computer till 2, 3 in the morning now.
Gotcha.
So my days I'm stretching my days out.
Okay.
So do you have to constantly keep doing certain things here?
Nah. At this point, I could just let it run right now. I do have, when the marketers, I have all access to see what they're doing and they're communicating.
It shows you like errors and stuff like that, so you can throw updates.
Whatever I need. Okay. And they're about to take over my Instagram, so it's gonna get to. I would say by the summertime, it's gonna be a good summer.
Nice. That's good.
So, man.
And I'm always curious to just, like I said, like I'm not joking. I would just so I can give people a proper feedback. I always feel like if I don't have firsthand experience, then I can't. All I can say is say the generic things. I would like to just get a profile just so I can see the difference between the old apps, and now you use Fernando's photo and then we're all good. Man. He got his face on there, but I'm the one using it.
You're gonna get an email. You're gonna get a privacy email from me, right? And you gotta do something about it.
Well, Barry, we'll take the profile off.
Next other one, you'll be okay.
But balancing it, I just wake up every day and being a parent for me is just important. I love being a dad. Like, even like to see how Kobe was with his daughters. Like,
yeah, man.
I feel like, that's how I am. I want to be a part of like everything, like the doctor's appointments and stuff like that. I want to be there. I want to be, whatever it is.
So it gives you your why a stronger reason to keep going and have something that's just bigger than, your 9 to 5, because that feeds you and keeps the lights on. But what you're doing right now in hindsight, the bigger picture at the end of the day, it's going to reward you in a much bigger way.
Your son.
And in your
I mean,
son
that's
and your
that's
legacy.
my fire
man.
right there. I see him.
Yeah.
And I come home sometimes. I'm having a bad day sometimes, and I see my son, and it's just like I forget whatever's going on.
This is the reason right here. This is the why.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
What are some of the obstacles that, other than meeting, right? What are some of the obstacles that you encountered with women that you asked about the app, other than the catfishing and meeting?
Those were the main two that I heard a lot. Some of them just like, the dating apps don't do it for them, you know? It is what it is. It's not their thing. But I just think that it may be the stigma behind it. That's why. Because I just think that if you're putting pictures on Instagram or Facebook, I mean, and if you are single and you are looking, because there's some people that's single and looking and still won't use a dating app. So how do you grab those people now, you know? I got something that I'm grabbing the people. I can't talk about it yet, but I got something.
Hey, man.
Gotcha.
We're just looking forward to
because on
see.
Instagram, I'm pretty sure, like, if someone is single and if there's a man that's single and there's a female that's single, nowadays it's hard. It's hard to actually know who's single and who's not single. Even though, Instagram is like a dating app in a way.
It is. All of these social
it's
networks.
Like the introduction.
It's crazy.
It's like the introduction.
It's an introduction, but
all of these social networks, they are dating apps in a sense. You know, you putting up pictures, you're single, but
a lot of people like to just keep privacy. So it's like if you don't see pictures of someone with their couple, it doesn't mean that they're single. It probably just means that they just, you know. So like being on an app like that actually confirms it. Like, all right, like I'm single. Like this is. I'm looking for someone.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're single. It just necessarily it just means that they're open.
I seen some cases in Law and Order.
Right? You're gonna have those people. You're gonna have people that are just there for a night, and you're gonna have people that are really looking for long term. And you just want to make sure it's a safe environment for everybody to get what they're looking for and be comfortable with what they're looking for. And I love the concept of being able to suggest places to meet. Like, how dope would that be that you have your own section for a rendezvous, right? Like, people come in and you know that it's that table that's set up for a date. There's somebody, a waiter already waiting. Like if it's a restaurant, like that's just that's like VIP treatment, you know. And you're gonna sit down and have a conversation with that person. You know, it's like you said. What's the difference between that person being in a bar and you just, hey, you want another drink? Let's sit down and have a drink together. It's the same thing. It's just not now you're picking and choosing from a list, and then whoever matches that list and you agree on location, you go and you're going with the purpose and the vibe. Like you said, you're gonna go catch a vibe with somebody, and then you might do it with somebody else, another person, because again, you're gonna go through many different personalities to see which one's the one that goes with you. You know, and I like that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
We appreciate you sitting down with us. We appreciate you giving us, you know, kind of like the first, I would say, because I'm on social media. I can see that it's you're building up what you're about to do, and I think that we have the first glimpse of what's about to pop and what's something that's going to be out there, you know, killing the dating industry and in a good way. So we're excited to see your journey and be a part of any of those events that you have coming forward, and maybe collaborating on something like a speed date. You know, and make something, you know, fun.
Thanks for having me. And I'm inspired with what y'all guys are doing here. I came. I'm like, yo, this is a big studio.
We're working on it.
Nah, so kudos to you guys, man.
Thank you, man.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
And can you shout out your Instagram accounts for the listeners, for the people to be able to find
you can find that app Rendezvous Date on Apple and Google. My Instagram is crucial_conflict 15, and you can follow Rendezvous Date on Instagram as well.
Absolutely.
Spell it out for them so they won't.
Rendezvous, RENDEZVOUS Date. Took me a while to learn how to spell it too. So
because it's
sound like
I couldn't keep up with that.
Sound like Fabulous back in the day, spelling out his day.
That's fire, man. Hey, look, we'll tag you.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, we're gonna keep the listeners updated on all the things that you got working, and when that launch date is official and ready to go.
Cameras out and
we'll be out there with you, man. We're out there.
We'll be out there like paparazzis.
Okay, that's enough. Let's go.
That's enough. Let's go. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Cause and Effect podcast. Let's get it.